In today's world, a new form of domination is rising. Instead of armies, we face algorithms. Instead of governors, we have debt contracts. This is the era of financial colonization, where powerful institutions shape economies from afar. Global financial institutions, such as hedge funds and investment banks, control developing nations without ever setting foot on their soil. They extract wealth and influence policy, creating dependency. But how do they do this? Let's break down the mechanisms. First, consider currency manipulation in the foreign exchange markets. The forex market handles $7.5 trillion daily. A few banks dominate this, influencing exchange rates. When a hedge fund executes massive trades, it can cause the devaluation of local currencies. For example, in 2017, a hedge fund manager manipulated the South African rand from London. Next, we look at debt traps created by vulture funds. Developing nations often borrow in dollars. When they struggle to repay, hedge funds purchase these debts at a low cost, demanding full repayment along with exorbitant premiums. An example is Sri Lanka in 2022, where hedge funds refused to cooperate during default crisis, prolonging the nation's distress. Now, let's discuss capital flows and sentiment. Sudden capital inflows can create economic booms, while abrupt outflows can lead to busts. Rating agencies exacerbate this by downgrading sovereign debt, raising borrowing costs, and forcing through austerity measures. Another example is speculative attacks. Hedge funds can short currencies in large volumes, forcing central banks to extend reserves defending their values. The infamous Thai baht collapse in 1997 is one such example, illustrating the impact of these financial movements. The impact of these actions can be devastating. Consider the Asian financial crisis in 1997. Speculators triggered a currency collapse that devastated economies, leading to riots and regime changes. Between 2007 and 2013, major banks in South Africa colluded to manipulate the rand, significantly increasing import costs in a heavily import-dependent economy. The debt debacle in Sri Lanka demonstrates the leverage private creditors hold, delaying aid in the midst of a crisis. Additionally, recent protests in Kenya underscore how IMF-imposed austerity measures can spark public outrage. Financial colonization perpetuates inequality. It erodes the purchasing power of people with low incomes, while enabling the elites to profit from dollar-denominated assets. However, resistance is possible. Malaysia's capital controls in the late 90s allowed it to recover from the crisis. The BRICS nations offer a ray of hope. This coalition aims to provide financial alternatives, thereby reducing dependency on Western-controlled systems. The New Development Bank, or NDB, finances infrastructure without strict policy conditions, focusing on local currencies. It challenges the standard practices of the World Bank. Moreover, the contingent reserve arrangement, akin to an IMF safety net, provides support without the onerous conditions often attached to IMF loans. Cutting-edge payment systems such as BRICS Pay aim to reduce reliance on traditional US-denominated channels. These innovations strive to empower emerging economies. As BRICS expands to include countries like Saudi Arabia, it positions itself as a counterbalance to existing financial systems. It promotes a multipolar economic order that prioritizes the needs of the global south. The journey toward financial liberation is ongoing. However, challenges remain. Internal divisions within BRICS could complicate its mission. Despite these hurdles, innovative alternatives like the NDB or CRA can redefine global finance and support sovereignty in developing nations. In conclusion, financial alternatives from BRICS are reshaping the landscape, promoting inclusivity and equity. These developments are crucial for empowering economies, but success relies on continued unity and practical reforms. To stay informed, explore your nation's links to BRICS. Consider how these financial tools can impact local infrastructure. Dive deeper into discussions surrounding de-dollarization. Your awareness can shape future economic landscapes. For more topics like this, subscribe to my channel.